Welcome to the Isle of Lesbos, where everyone is a lesbian. Literally, that's what you call people from Lesbos. If you're looking for a little oral, then you've come to the right place. Lesbos is famous for its poetry. It's home to one of the most famous lyrical geniuses of her time, and for centuries to come. No, not Nicki Minaj. It's Sappho!
Lesbians, women who love women. To understand where the word lesbian comes from and how we know and use it today, we have to start with the woman behind it all. Sappho, one of history's most famous poets, male or female, and we're not throwing that distinction around lightly, honey. Sappho was the Adele. Oh, wait, no, the Dolly Parton. Nope, maybe the Taylor Swift of her time.
Probably more than all three combined. I mean, I practically invented writing about your feelings, especially your queer feelings. I'm from ancient Greece, and we're still talking about me. You think Taylor Swift is gonna have all that longevity? Ah!
How did this poetess with the moestus become an ancient queer superstar and turn her hometown into a lesbian mecca?
Sappho was born in the late 7th century BCE on the island of Lesbos in the Aegean Sea. My name is Miriam Camel. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a PhD candidate in classical philology at Harvard, which means I study ancient languages and literature. Lesbos seems to have been an interesting place because it was culturally separate from mainland Greece.
Today, Lesbos is the hottest girl-on-girl vacay spot in the world, a safe and sacred space where women openly love other women. In ancient Greece, the Isle of Lesbos had a particular reputation for being home to the most beautiful women in the world.
The women on Lesbos are very sexualized. There's this kind of oversexed association with the island that probably is related to Sappho because she wrote erotic poetry.
Sappho was one of the first lyric poets. Lyric poems capture the moment, and they were very often made to be sung. I'm Lillian Faderman, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm a historian of lesbian and LGBTQ history.
I said thongs and G-strings and booty shorts. I love girls. I love girls, 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 girls. I love girls.
Lyric poems are also very personal. They talk about the author's own feelings in a very emotional kind of way, as opposed to epic poems that tell these huge stories.
Long before Katy Perry sang about kissing girls and liking it for attention, and way, way, way before Madonna kissed Britney and Christina for attention, Sappho was the original diva of the ladies, the world's premier queer pop starlet. One of the first, that we know of, to write and sing passionately about her fondness for women, and it made her crazy famous.
My eyes can't see a thing. And a whirring whistle thrums at my hearing. Cold sweat covers me, and a tremble takes over my body completely. I'm greener than the grass is, and appear to myself to be a little short of dying. I'm short of dying too!
I think she's so important for a number of reasons. She's one of the few voices we have of ancient Greece, a woman speaking for herself. She wrote love poems to other women, and these are passionate love poems.
Honestly, I'd like to die. She was leaving me, saying goodbye, her cheeks wet with tears. She said to me, "What a cruel unhappiness, Sappho. I swear I leave you against my will." I never leave you, Sappho! So then may you sleep on some tender girl's breast. Tender breast? They didn't have bras back then.
During her time, Sappho was beloved by both women and men. Later, she was dubbed the female Homer, and Homer was the Justin Bieber of his day.
Sappho, here's a woman who is brought in to the major poetic canon by the Greek men. My name is Stephanie Larson, and I'm a professor of classics and ancient Mediterranean studies. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. Plato calls her the poetess. He calls Homer the poet and Sappho the poetess. She's that good. So she was already recognized as being amazing in ancient times.
The reason Sappho isn't more widely celebrated today, while Homer's rugged rhymes about men and wars were copied and translated from century to century, most of Sappho's poetry is lost because scholars didn't bother to preserve her work. And because we know so little about her, there are lots of different theories about Sappho's day job status.
I heard she was a headmistress.
I saw her wearing sandals and a toga once, so I'm wearing sandals and a toga.
I heard she was a sex worker, so I became a sex worker.
Like all stars that shine so bright, Sappho had her fair share of uptight, humorless critics who trolled her throughout history.
It is sometimes said that Sappho was married. We think she had a daughter. There was a 10th century encyclopedia dictionary kind of combo called the Suda, and that says that Sappho was married to a man named Kerkylas from a place called Andros. People generally think that that's probably a misunderstanding because the name is really silly. It means dick, like a penis, and then Andros, the place that he's from, just means man.
She's married to Dick Man.
We know that there were comic plays written about Sappho well after her lifetime, and comic plays are really cruel. I mean, they are just making fun of people. So it seems likely enough that the author of the Suda saw that and didn't realize it was a joke and put it into his biography as fact. If there's anything that transcends time and place to unite humanity, it's dick jokes.